Well, hello all, and welcome to a new flight simulator video. Today we're talking about the YS-11, the NAMC, which is a turboprop airliner, as you have seen in the intro here. We are taking off from a spaceport in Japan, as the new world update has been released. So we've come up with a whole new set of scenery for Japan, and it is really nice. I believe this spaceport is Hokkaido Spaceport. Anyway, it's bloody beautiful. So you've got the nice little building over to the left of the aircraft, which is basically a house or a rocket. And the runway is quite small, so there's that too. So we're starting the aircraft up here. You can see some stuff coming out at the back, I guess. There's the little building in the background I was talking about. Let's get this thing on the road, because we are going to a very small little airport, which is kind of on the outside of Tokyo, and I thought, like, what's the point in just going to, like, the main airports, of course. Let's go to the new places, let's fly over somewhere we've never seen. Now, the scenery around Japan is absolutely stunning, so this video, I guess, is a bit of a double whammy. So you've got the NAMC YS-11, which is brand new. I think it cost me about £12. It was on a discount, and I think it was meant to be about £18. So we're kind of going to determine, is it value for money or is it not? Now, I've been enjoying this aircraft, so be sure to let me know what you think of the aircraft in the comments down below. And if you have also tested out the new world update with Japan, how have you found it? Now, one thing that I have been doing differently is I've been using auto FPS recently, and I have it set up so that basically I get good frames, and I think that that's maybe why the sim looks as good as it does. I've had a lot of problems with it since sim update 2, 3, where the textures on the runway even are absolutely miserable looking. So you can see it looks pretty decent here. So there's a few things, I guess. Now, what do I think about the aircraft? I think the aircraft is very cool. Interior is detailed quite nicely, as you can see in the intro. There's plenty of knobs and switches for those knobs and switches aficionados. And it was very easy to start up. I didn't look at the checklist. Literally played about with a few buttons until I got it started and working. It was very easy, like a lot, probably easier than you probably would imagine. It was like starting up a Cessna 172, but with like 10 extra buttons maybe. And yeah, it's not that bad. It's got a customizable GPS in the center console there as well. You can run it no GPS, you can have one that's smaller. This one's a touchscreen one, so I thought let's go fancy and enjoy that. Taxi's out quite nice, it steers nice on the runway, and the... well, let's just have a look at this once we start getting moving. I think that it flies pretty nice. It is quite heavy though, so that's something you've got to bear in mind. Right, so, in a moment, we're going to take off. We're just going to do some final checks here before we get in there, and then that'll be us. So let me know what you think about the video in the comments down below. I will come back and say hello to you just before the landing, and until then, enjoy the video and let me know what you think about it. Well, hello and welcome back aboard the flight deck on the YS-11. We're on our way to Matsushima Air Base in Japan. Now, we're testing out the scenery here, and I must admit, I cannot believe how good the scenery around this area is. Like, this ahead of us, wow, looks amazing. Like, you've got that little bit of scattering through the clouds. It's just amazing. It really is actually so surprising that this is a simulator. You know, you could almost mistake it for real life, some might say. Now, the scenery around Japan has obviously just been updated in the most recent sim update, or world update even, and I really cannot believe how much of a difference it's made. I think I've flown around Japan a handful of times before, and I don't think it looked anywhere near as nice. I don't know what they've done, but they have done something. So the approach here into Matsushima, we're going to be a little bit wobbly. Now, you probably shouldn't look up and put the landing lights on whilst you're flying by your hand, but nobody here has a co-pilot, so I have to do this all by myself. Please bring shared cockpit, because that would be very nice. You're going to have someone work the lights for me whilst I'm landing. So the airport itself is quite a small little runway. It's not the biggest, but it's more than doable for this type of aircraft. I love the interior, I love the lighting in the interior, I like the autopilot. The autopilot's pretty easy to use, it's super, super basic. The fact that you have these different GPS options is really nice as well. But shout out to Flight Sim 2024 for looking absolutely beautiful like this at night time. And it's cool just to be able to sit back in the passenger seat as you're approaching the airport. Shout out to Sky Dolly for allowing me to be able to do that, in case you're ever wondering how that's being recorded. But yeah, here we are. We're on that final approach. There's a little bit of a crosswind by the looks of it. We're kind of an off angle. Now, that's just the way it kind of felt. The aircraft seemed to handle it okay, and getting back on track as we approached the runway was pretty easy as well. Just look how good that looks outside. I mean, there's no words. There really isn't. It just looks amazing. It's so detailed. Nighttime flying in Flight Sim is now probably one of my favourite things to do. I was always a bit kind of wary of it because it's harder to navigate and you don't really have like all the visual landmarks because everything's dark, but when it looks as good as this, it's hard to not enjoy it. I don't know, I think I maybe will try a little bit more nighttime flying sometime soon. It's been really, really nice and I've really enjoyed it. It's just so atmospheric. There's something about it. It's just so good. Yeah, they've done great work here with this. And the aircraft as well, I'm super happy with it, and it was cheap for an add-on aircraft, if you know what I mean as well. You've seen the price of some aircraft that you can pay for, like wow, what a difference. Anyway, I'm going to shut myself up here as we approach the runway. You enjoy watching the rest of this, and I will catch up with you after we've parked the aircraft. Alright, see you soon. Okay, so that was a nice, easy enough landing. A little bit kind of wobbly, but I think that's just part of the crosswind aspect there. So the aircraft here looks absolutely fantastic. Landing lights look great when it's on the ground as well. Big fan. I think just in general, like the fact that you can make the stairs go down, like what else do you really need come on, let's be honest. It's great having that little EFB in the cockpit where you can have the doors open, the stairs, your ground equipment, and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that this aircraft is amazing. And do you know what? I looked at it and I thought it's probably going to be a bit rubbish or a bit basic. And in some ways it probably is. It's not a full study level airliner by any means, but it is very fun to fly. It is nice to look at. It sounds great. So yeah, I'm a very, very big fan. And do you know what? I recommend it. I do. I do. I know it's money and I know it costs money to buy it, but it's good fun and it's enjoyable. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.